The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
What up, my cosmic cousin? Now, when it comes to astrology, we usually look at the 12th house for the people working against us in the dark, okay? But what about those people that give you that hate straight to your face? That's right. These are the people who you know for sure don't care for you, and you frankly don't give a damn because you probably don't care for them either. Now, we've been told for umpteen years that the 7th house is all about romance, soulmates, as well as those business contracts and partnerships. But did you know that that 7th house will also tell you about your open enemies? Well, if you done subscribe to my channel, then you probably already do. Told you I'll be giving y'all the tea over here. But thanks to one of our cosmic cousins, my cosmic sister, Divinely, she has put out a request that we dive a little deeper into this subject. But before I spill all this delicious tea, go on and hit that like, go on and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. Let's get straight into it, cosmic cousins, because I know it sounds wild as hell that your open enemies would actually be in the same house as your partnerships and your lovers. But it's true. And this is why the people that you love the most are the people that get under your skin the most, okay? It's simply because your paths of natal birth charts have been intertwined. Now, when it comes to the open enemies, of course, we know the adversaries once they've made themselves known. But having this information definitely gives you the jump on where this energy would be coming from. That way you're never surprised or never caught off guard. So, of course, I'm going to give you the tea on what this energy feels like or where these open enemies will be coming for you based on what zodiac sits in your 7th house. That energy is going to give you all the tea that you need. But before I get into the energies, let's break down what open enemies really mean, okay? And why the hell they're needed. Unlike the 12th house, which governs those hidden enemies, which I'm actually going to do a video on that, as well as those rivals that you'll find in your 1st house. Like, I bet you didn't know that either, okay? But nonetheless, the 7th house deals with these adversaries that you're very much aware of. This is that open conflict. This is that face-to-face. Now, this area would include any type of frenemies, legal opponents, business rivals, anything there where there is a me versus you type of dynamic. Out of the 12 houses, 1 through 6 is all about I, 7 through 12 is about we. So once we get into the 12th house, we've officially made it in the dark. But the 7th house is the very first we. So it's literally right there in our face. So it's looked at as the other or the mirror. Now, I've actually broken down on my channel before about how the 7th house begins at our descendant. Our descendant is opposite from our ascendant, whereas our ascendant, which is our rising sign, shows up and the energy is so undeniable that it literally gives off a first impression. That descendant energy is what is hidden. If we looked at energy as though it was a muscle, this is that muscle that would not get worked out because you didn't even know it was there. A lot of times the qualities or the characteristics that fall in our descendant are the things that we feel like we lack. So we look for it in other people, when in reality, they're just things that we need to work on within ourselves. And the individuals who grace us in the 7th house are those contracted spirits that agreed to help us learn this lesson in this lifetime, okay? Good or bad, you gonna learn it. And anytime you hear the word contracts, you better know it got some past life sauce on it. So nevertheless, this is the reason why we are often most triggered by those people who embody those traits we refuse to acknowledge within ourselves. Our open enemies are literally someone who is acting out our shadow side of our own chart, creating that confrontation, which would bring us to that mirror, okay? So say I was looking at the 4th and 10th house. Those are usually the hierarchies. We're talking about parent and child or boss and employee. But when we're dealing with the 7th house, this is playing on equal levels. This is somebody you are on equal grounds with, okay? Whether you're holding hands together at the altar or having a whole face-off in a courtroom, these individuals have equal balance with you, but also have the ability to have an incredible impact when it comes to your life directly. That 7th house gives us that place in our chart where we learn balance, okay? Thinking of that scale, it's that equal give and take. And being that house of mirrors, a lot of times when you're looking in the mirror, if you see a flaw, you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to try and cover it, or you're going to make a vow to do something about it, and you actually do. Well, individuals in our 7th house show up in that way in the physical for us. We need those partners in our lives to help us see who we are, but sometimes we need that enemy or that inner me to show up as well. These people come in to show us where our boundaries are. Both definitely serve a purpose in helping us define ourselves through others, okay? A saying that I always tell my family, friends, and clients is that energy knows where home is at. Please believe that it does. It will always reflect back to you, and the 7th house is that very reflection that I'm referring to. So let's talk about it, Cosmic Cousins. How will this energy reflect back to you based on your rising sign? So let's do a breakdown. Starting with my fire risings, Aries risings. Since your 7th house is in Libra, your open enemies often come off as passive aggressive. They're very polite rivals, okay? They might try and use social situations or try and come after you legally. Now, because of the fact that Libra is home in the 7th house, it will sometimes come in the form of the significant other that you decide to be with. And honestly, that's for anybody in this placement, but it's a little bit more so for you guys because Libra is home in that 7th house, right? Now, these individuals is going to find you to be brash. They're going to say things to you like you're too aggressive. And to you, these people will just come off as fake. They'll be the ones that be smiling in your face all the time. They trying to take your place type shit. But they don't take the time to stab you in your back. They'll do it right there in your face. So just know that. Now for my Leo risings, you have Aquarius in your 7th house. So this is definitely the frenemies area. These are the people who think that you're always trying to take the attention away from them. They'll try and put you down in other ways or try and make you feel like you stupid or try and act like you stupid or something. Basically trying to drag down your intellect because your light is so bright as far as how you shine out to the world. These are those individuals who will try to quote unquote humble you, okay? They do not like the fact that you stand out and they want you to feel like just a regular number. These are definitely those it ain't all that type of people that'll try and play down anything that you do. And like I said, because of the fact that it's Aquarius energy, likely it's those frenemies, those ones who are in your circle, or just those individuals who's just in your community. Now for my Sagittarius risings, Gemini falls in your 7th house. Now your open enemies are wordsmiths. These are the people who you always just seem to get into an argument with because they talk too much, they tell too much of your business. These are definitely the people who are going to gossip about you and spread rumors. These are the social enemies, the girls or guys that you went to school with. This is just that person who's always picking at you, being petty, and always just got something to say. Now, what you deal with the most when it comes to this placement is definitely the rumor spreading, and it be lies. You always got somebody lying on you. This is where that energy comes from, okay? So it's always something about arguing over the facts, rumors being spread, and just a war over words or communication, period. Just think of the worst game of telephone that you could ever think of, okay? Now, moving on to my earth sign risings. Taurus risings, you have Scorpio sitting in your 7th house, so these open enemies are actually very intense, okay? These are the all or nothing type of enemies. These are often people who you have some type of intimate relationship with. Of course, this isn't all the time, but this is definitely where it shows up the heaviest. And the reason why is because the battle is typically over like power struggles or jealousy or shared resources. This is somebody who you typically have been intimate with that has this type of access. You understand? So these adversaries are a little bit more private and they're a little bit more calculated. They're going to move in silence, and typically the interaction with them feels very transformative. So Taurus risings, I would definitely be really careful about those who you get into those business contracts with, because even though the 7th house is business contracts for everybody, yours hits a little bit different with that Scorpio energy being there, dealing with those intense transformations as well as those shared resources and assets. But you will also deal with people who are just jealous of you for no reason. Now, with my Virgo risings, you have Pisces sitting in your 7th house. Now, this is that victim, okay? This is that person who appears weaker, so it makes you look like you the bully. So it makes it incredibly hard to confront somebody like that. These individuals will often make you feel bad. Like you could be using plain logic with them, and they'll still try and guilt you into making you feel bad about what you said. I'm just saying, this is the energy. So to everybody else, this person comes off as harmless. So it makes everybody look at you like you the one who is starting it, or you're the one that's doing something to them. And it's kind of an energy like, oh, leave them alone. And you're like, shit, I am, you know. they won't leave me alone. It's that type of energy that is in that area. So those are your open enemies. Now for my Capricorn risings, you have Cancer in your 7th house. Your open enemies is typically the ones in your family. Okay? Like I said, with all open enemies, these energies can fall in all sorts of places. But for some of us, it's just a little bit more so in this area than it would be in another. Okay, that's just how that works. Now, whenever you have these conflicts, they are very hyper emotional. And typically there's a lack of loyalty that's involved with something like this. These individuals will definitely try to cause conflict in your home, anything to disrupt your home life. You also have to be careful with this placement when you're dealing with individuals that you may have to call for home renovations. Or if you decide to ever build a home, you always got to be a little bit cautious of the company that you pick. Typically, if there is any type of clash when it comes to family members, you'll find that the energy typically falls on the maternal side. Or it could even be your mother or your grandmother or one of your aunties, a sister, a girl cousin, just somebody who is a female on that maternal side, or even a male who displays a lot of feminine energy, because energy does not have a gender. I'm just saying. Now for my air sign risings, let's get into it. Gemini risings, in the 7th house, you have Sagittarius. These are the individuals who's always trying to preach to you, always trying to tell you something or put you down like they know more than you. They think they're so wise. But their wisdom doesn't come from a place of wanting to better you or empower you. It comes from a place of wanting to make you feel smaller. These individuals come off as arrogant know-it-alls, okay? It is very likely that you would encounter these individuals at, say, like college. You may have even experienced this when it comes to teachers. If you're somebody who attends church, you might find that the pastor is talking at you a little bit more than the other people, or someone in the congregation is always talking about you. But these will always be individuals who will always challenge your belief system as well. Now for my Libra risings, you have Aries sitting in your 7th house. Now since you're the type of person who typically tries to avoid the conflict, okay, you don't really got time for that. These adversaries are often very direct and very aggressive. These are the me first type of people. You'll find that these individuals are always in competition with you. These will be the ones that want to try to push you into a fight, and you don't even really be wanting to do all of that. These individuals love to challenge you. They're literally meant to push you towards self-assertion, just so you know. So they come off very brash and very assertive. They'll say whatever, do whatever, and sometimes they'll get physical for no reason. These are these individuals who force you to stand up for yourself. These individuals are often selfish as hell too. They will always want you to think about them first and put your needs and feelings on the back burner. So just always be cautious of that. With this placement, you just always have to have firm boundaries, period. Now for my Aquarius rising, Leo sits in your 7th house. Your enemies typically have that diva energy. They're highly visible, they're charismatic individuals, but they'll be constantly trying to outshine you. These are the type of people who will make conflict in public and basically cause a whole scene out here. These are going to be the drama mamas. They love to start drama with you for no reason. Now, similar to the situation with the Libra risings, your individuals can also come off as aggressive. These are fire signs in the 7th house. But in the same breath, similar to an Aries rising, because Leo deals with romance and people that you're dating, this can often show up in individuals that you're dating. These people are the ones that will lie on you. They have a lack of loyalty, and sometimes they will try to dominate you. Now, you as well as Taurus risings, I should have put that out there for y'all too. Y'all do have to worry about sleeping with the enemy, okay? Now, when it comes to the water sign risings, Cancer risings, Capricorn sits in your 7th house. These are definitely those enemies that deal with your bosses, your authority figures. Now, this energy, even though Cancer and Capricorn are technically feminine energies when it comes to the zodiac energy itself, the Capricorn energy, because of the fact of Saturn, it definitely has this masculine type of energy on it. So when it comes to this energy, it always seems like it's coming from the paternal side of the family, or just men in general. Now, in addition, of course, this could come off as management or supervisor or some type of superior to you. But this is definitely someone who would try to spread rumors about you or damage your reputation in the public. They're always going to challenge you when it comes to anything dealing with a professional climb. When it comes to Capricorn energy, they're represented by the goat. And the one thing that goat is going to do is climb that mountain. Well, Capricorn in the 7th house is that mountain for Cancer rising. So these individuals will always try to block your success in one way or another. Now, for my Scorpio risings, your 7th house is in Taurus. Your open enemies are stubborn and unmovable, okay? They are also incredibly possessive, and they will try to use money to manipulate you. Having this energy here can often lead to financial disputes as well as land and property disputes. And this is somebody like a dog with a bone. Once they get a hold of it, they're not going to let go. They're very stubborn about this situation. Now, in addition, these are also people who will try to deplete your self-worth or your net worth in general. These might be individuals who try to block your money. These are definitely individuals who are incredibly possessive. Once again, a lot of times when it comes to this energy, it will come from people who you date because of the fact that it deals with that possessive, intense energy of that axis of Scorpio and Taurus. And because of the fact that finances and physical property are always up for debate. When it comes to this open enemy, this energy typically will play out in the form of a partner or an extremely close family member. Now for my Pisces risings, your 7th house falls in Virgo. With that being said, these are typically energies that will be your worst critics. These are the dream killers, okay? They love to attack your flow with spreadsheets and hard data. They're overly critical of you and typically try to nitpick at you. These people will try to methodically break you down and just constantly point out any flaw or inconsistency in any type of dream that you have. This is exactly why I labeled them the dream killers, okay? And this could actually come in the form of people that you work with or work around. And this is why it's incredibly important, Pisces risings, for you to always move in silence, especially when it comes to any type of projects or anything that you are working on, okay? Because the ones that you tell your biggest dreams to may be the ones telling you how it'll never work out. And you don't need anyone trying to throw you off your square, period. Now, my cosmic cousins, at the end of the day, the best way to make sure you limit these encounters or these situations is just by making sure that all of these energies that are within self are tended to. If you are paying attention to these energies within self, then the energy doesn't have to go outside of self to grab your attention, okay? Now, with that being said, cosmic cousins, I have sipped so much tea, I am completely full, and I'm ready to get up out of here. But before you go and on your way out the door, make sure you hit that like, go on and subscribe if you haven't already, and just a shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the clicks and views, and I'm out of here, cosmic cousins.